Ahoy hoy everyone, it's Craig here at EPCOT for the very first day of the 2023 EPCOT International Flower and Garden Festival. And of course, focus here today is, you guessed it, food. Yes, so you'll see the topiaries and experience EPCOT at its probably most prettiest time of the year, but it's all about the food today. There are so many kitchens set up all around EPCOT, and the focus, of course, is on what's new. Gotta go for what's new. It's new, it's exciting. Yes, the old favorites are great, but I wanna get what's new. We're gonna do that in a second, but before we do, I wanna remind you this is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel. If you like our content, you wanna support us, book a vacation through Dreams Unlimited Travel. It costs you no extra money and you get the support of an awesome Dreams Unlimited Travel agent. So head over to dreamsunlimitedtravel.com today for your free no obligation quote. And guess what? It's nighttime. I should not have tried to act like it's first thing in the morning. I don't know if I really did, but it's nighttime. I'm actually about to leave, so we are going to rewind all the way to the start of the day and get into all the dining we did.
Hi friends, so we are at the Florida Fresh booth, which is near Disney Traders, and here we have the grilled street corn on the cob with savory garlic spread and a plant-based cojita cheese. Okay, I'm very excited for this one. It was $5.75. We're gonna see. I think it's worth it just based on, because it's corn and I love corn, but we're gonna see if it's worth it based on taste. So let's go ahead and bite into this. Look at that. That was delicious. Okay, it's nice and it's a savory option, and if you love corn, this is the way to go. Honestly, I love it. I just wish that I had a knife so I could cut it down and eat it with a fork instead of grabbing it, because there's a lot of crumbs on this specific one. When I bit into it, all the crumbs went flying. So if I have crumbs, ignore, please. But all in all, it was really good. I like this. I'm probably gonna finish the whole thing. I might regret it later because it's like 1,010 degrees out here, but I really enjoy it. So if you like street corn, go ahead and get that.
I actually decided to go with two items from the Florida Fresh booth, and it was the pictures that ultimately sold me. And I will say it is very photogenic looking at the two items that I did get, but hey, let me stop beating around the bush and actually say what I got. The first thing that I am trying is going to be the blackened fish slider with roasted tomatoes, watercress, and citrus remoulade on brioche. This was $6.75, and honestly, the picture made it look a lot more grand than it is. Not that it looks bad, you know, definitely a hefty portion of fish on there. It's not overflowing off the little brioche bun, but it still looks very appetizing, and I love a good blackened fish, so here goes nothing. This slider is really delectable. The fish is super flaky and it's got that nice spiciness from the blackened seasoning. And then also with it, that remoulade just kicks it up to another notch. And also the brioche bun that it's on, you know, it has that little bit of sweetness. It's really fluffy. It's a really, really nice sandwich. I wish the tomatoes were coming through a little bit more, as well as the watercress, but I was not super convinced that it was going to be worth it for $6.75, but ultimately I think it actually is worth it. The other item I went with was the Florida strawberry shortcake. This is strawberry shortcake. It is $4.75, and it's a pretty big portion for a dessert. And just looking at it, I'm not super concerned about the sweetness level, but it could end up being a little bit of a problem. There's so many sugar crystals on the top piece of shortcake. Then you have those fresh strawberries and a lot of whipped cream that has not melted in the sun, which is a little bit concerning, but I'm not super worried about it. It's okay, right? It's gonna be fine. Here we go. This dessert is incredible. I don't think it's just because it's the first booth that I've had today that I'm kind of raving about it. I just love the balance with it. The whipped cream is keeping this entire dish cool right now while it's very warm outside. Strawberries, super fresh, and that's also helping with the, that overall coolness of this dish. The crystals don't add too much sugar to it. It actually, it balances everything out because the shortcake itself is, dense, but has that little buttery flavor to it and more of like a savory than necessarily sweet until you get those crystals on there. For $4.75, this is a really good dessert to split. I think it's delicious. I think you should try it too. Let's see what we get next.
Okay, so now we are at Trout and Trellis, which is hosted by Impossible, and we got the Impossible Lumpia, which is brand new, and it's served with a Thai sweet chili sauce, and that is $5.50. And we also got the chocolate cake. They say new next to it. They did have it last year. They just made a few changes. Now there's a chocolate ice cream, which is now melted. It used to be like a raspberry type of ice cream last year, and that goes for $5. So we're gonna try that. I'm gonna try that with Panda. And again, this booth is all hosted by Impossible. It's not too far from Canada. It's actually next to Port of Entry. We got a nice view of the lagoon, and it's hot, so we're gonna eat. Let's do this thing.
It is chocolate soup right now, but it's still not going to stop us from eating it.
It reminds me of the chocolate milk.
All right, should we do the lumpia first?
Yes.
Okay, I've never had a lumpia. It looks to me like an egg roll. To me, it looks sweet, but like sugar, but they're saying no.
It's got a sauce.
That is really good. And I would think that's real meat in there.
Mm-hmm. That is a nice crunch.
That is real. Okay.
You want to see what it looks like?
Wow.
It tastes really good.
It tastes like something from a Chinese restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
What is this? It's what's the nationality of it? Like the origin?
The sauce is a Thai sauce, so it is Asian food. So you are correct.
Delicious. Big fan of lumpia.
Me too. This is good. And they give you
5.
It's 5. Math. Not my strongest suit, but they give you 5.
Which means 2 for you, 2 for me, and 1 for Craig.
I'm gonna have this now chocolate soup, okay? She's soupy. So let's see. There's also like a berry compote next to it. I wonder what ice cream they're choosing to use, because it's good like plant-based ice cream. And this cake, she looks a little weird.
It's dense.
But that happens when it's a plant-based kind of cake, so let's see. It's actually a lot softer than you think it would be.
Okay, now you're used to these kind of cakes. I'm used to like a real chocolate cake. Let's see how it measures up. Not as bad as I thought. It's actually pretty good. It's a little mushy, like pasty, but flavor's good.
It's good with the raspberry on top. It has that flavoring that adds to the chocolate cake.
This is a vegan ice cream?
Yeah, everything here is.
Let's try vegan ice cream.
Right now it's a like
which
a
doesn't survive at all. Yeah, that I don't need. But cake I do. Vegan ice cream I would skip.
It's good, but you gotta come for these. This 10 out of 10, top tier.
Yeah, I would come back.
Yeah.
I would come back for that lumpia.
110%. Yeah.
A little bit of rice.
Now.
A little bit of white rice. That's a whole meal. I want to take it home now and make dinner.
Next item I'm having is from the Honey Bistro, and this is hosted by the National Honey Board, and you can find it near Port of Entry. So it's right across from the defunct Starbucks in the bathrooms. It's on your right as you're making your way towards Canada and World Showcase. You can't miss it, I promise. And what I'm having here is the chicken and waffles. It's crispy honey brine chicken and honey sweet corn bread waffle with whipped honey butter and spicy honey. I lost track of how many times I just said honey in all of that, but it seems like a lot, and you would expect that from the Honey Bistro. And the chicken itself was definitely overcooked. It was deep fried a little bit too long, and you can tell, like, I'm struggling to get the fork through it, but you can see all the different places on here that it's burnt. So that's not a very good start at all. Looks like it's pretty much a chicken thigh, because that's definitely dark meat chicken. And if it's breast, my gosh, they killed this thing so badly, and that's why it got to this level. But I think it's a thigh here. I can't get this disconnected right now with the way I'm holding it, so I'm just gonna go ahead and eat it as best as I can. This is awful. This is one of the worst things that I've ever had at any festival. They way overcooked the chicken. Like, it's decimated. It is so far gone. The chicken inside, like, I can't even tell you, like, if the chicken was seasoned. It hits you with the honey right away, so it's got that sweetness, but it's an awful breading. The chicken was just destroyed, and it's not very good at all. Let me try the waffle, which is like a corn cake waffle here. That's fine. It's a spicy cornbread waffle. I would eat this on its own. That was decent enough. The chicken just ruins this, though. This is really bad. $6.75 for this item. I would not recommend it to anyone, and I would not get it again. Unless they figure out how to fix the chicken, it's just not good. I'm about to make the worst decision that I could possibly make during this festival, and I am having the Shrimp Scampi Poutine that you can find at the refreshment port. It's right beside Canada. It's the standalone building that's always here. The Shrimp Scampi Poutine is $10.50. It is Shrimp Scampi Poutine with cheese curds, lemon garlic, cheese fondue, spinach, and artichokes. It looks disgusting, and the garlic that is wafting off this is so intense that it's just making my stomach hurt looking at it. I am not excited at all for this. The French fries, even too, they're almost clear, so it looks like the French fries are undercooked, and that's never gonna help you out with the poutine. Not that I'm an expert, I'm no Canadian, but I think Canadians would probably disown this, to be perfectly fair. Oh, it's just the fries are falling apart. This is so bad. Oh my gosh, here goes nothing. It took me 2 bites before I got a piece of shrimp. And I expected the shrimp to be just overcooked, disgusting, rubbery. It actually wasn't. It's very garlicky. Not as heavy as I thought it would be. The spinach obviously makes me feel healthy, getting the greens. The artichokes are subtle, but have that nice tanginess to them. The French fries are definitely undercooked. I think I like this. It's not good for a hot day. I think I like this, so I think I like it. I'm gonna say try it. If you like Shrimp Scampi, give it a shot.
We are at the Tangerine Cafe, Flavors of the Medina, and there is a new hummus trio. If you like hummus, I do. This trio sounds good. There's a traditional hummus, red beet and black garlic hummus, and avocado herb hummus with Moroccan bread and crispy, I want to say papadam, because that's how it says, but do you know how to pronounce it? Is it papadam? It's got to be papadam. P-A-P-A-D-A-M. I think I went for the traditional one first. As far as hummuses go, probably the best hummus I've had. Better than like the Publix, I forget the name, Sabra brand. I'm going to try the red beet one now. Surprisingly, very different tasting and good. I like it. I'm going to try the avocado one now. I'm not a fan of avocado. Still good, but I like the first two a lot. Like, it's just good hummus.
Hi, I'm gonna go the opposite order because I love avocado, so I'm gonna start with that one. Gotta make sure I just do it not too much. I want to save my little piece. First of all, this bread, so good. Second of all, that avocado hummus is actually, it's very different. And I like that. It's very refreshing taste, which I enjoy. Now let's try this beet one. I don't have a good history with beets. So, let's see how this one goes here. Beets. I think my beef with beets is done because that was amazing. It has like this very nice underlying sweetness to it that I like a lot. And now, traditional. You can never go wrong with your normal hummus. Like Panda said, the best like normal hummus I've ever had. That is so good. It's very nice. It's a nice consistency too, nice and creamy. Look at her. It's great.
I feel like I was enjoying it so much that I didn't really describe it, but it's creamier than a hummus that you'd buy in a store that's thicker. It's creamier. It has more flavor to it, and the bread, as Erica said, is really good bread. I like it a lot.
Do you feel like they gave you enough bread though?
No, not for the amount of hummus they gave. Had they given less hummus, I wouldn't have complained, but seeing how much hummus we have left and how much bread, no, I want to go back and ask them for more bread. But you can't be the fat guy going in there, give me bread. It doesn't go over well.
We've moved on to Magnolia Terrace. This is the booth at the American Adventure, and while there's so many delicious things on this menu, ranging from muffaletta panini to spicy chicken gumbo, I decided to go with two things here, and the first one I'm going to start with is the crawfish pie. And I would love to give you more of a description to it, but that's all they have there. So basically we've got what looks like a soupy type mixture filled with crawfish, and on top of that is a biscuit. It's a very flaky biscuit at that. So that's a nice thing to see and hear, because I can hear it just falling apart there. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little worried about this solely from the fact that after having the scampi and now having this, I'm having a lot of seafood today, and it's very warm, and oh goodness gracious. But I'm gonna start off just by having the crawfish mixture that was down below my biscuit. Temperature-wise, this thing is on fire. They told me that when I picked it up. They said don't pick it up from the bottom because it's going to be very hot. It is. I'm assuming it's just sitting in an oven, kind of cooking itself constantly. It's really good. There's a tiny hint of spiciness to it, but it's also kind of hard right now to taste it all because the temperature of the dish is just so hot that I'm like kind of letting it cool down in my mouth for a second and then swallowing. But overall, I really like it. There's a ton of crawfish in here. There's a bunch of fresh herbs in here that just are adding a nice balance to the heavy amount of butter that's also being used in this. This is really, really, really good, and it's not too far from the scampi that I had on the poutine, really, when all is said and done. And I'm trying to get a piece of biscuit right now, but the biscuit's not wanting to cut for me, so it's all falling apart. But yeah, that'll happen. When your biscuit gets a little soggy every now and then, it's a lot harder to get through, but here we go. Once you have the biscuit in there, it takes it to the absolute next level. So good. I really love this. I don't know if I said the price on it. It was $6.75. Totally worth it. I would absolutely have that again. And now I'm getting a little extra heat, not temperature-wise, even a little bit more spiciness. So, if you're liking spicy, you got a little bit on there. Now to move on to my second item, though, the Bananas Foster bread pudding. This is $4.75, and it's a bread pudding. And on top of it, you have bananas and the caramel sauce of Bananas Foster's. Why don't you? And I love bread pudding. This one looks absolutely delicious. When I saw the ladle of caramel and goodness, I was like, oh man, it's gonna be decadent. Found out Erica hates bananas though. She said it before. She just keeps saying it. Erica, bad takes. The bread pudding just melts apart in your mouth. It's a good bread pudding. There's not a big distinct flavor to it. Maybe I'm getting like a little bit of notes of like cinnamon and sugar to it, but overall there's not a ton of flavor. It's just the texture. Really, the flavor is all coming from that Bananas Foster's sauce that's on top, and that is just really delicious. Magnolia Terrace, an absolute hit here between these two items. I really want to try the gumbo and the panini because I'm very impressed with this. I also could go for a beer too, but I'm not going to. I'm driving later. But yeah, I'm gonna keep enjoying this and we'll see what happens next.
We are at the Citrus Blossom here in the Odyssey, and we got the orange sesame tempura shrimp. It's served with an orange chili sauce, so I'm excited for this one. I love me some shrimp. So let's go ahead and get at this. It was $7. Let's see if it's worth that $7. It looks like it's going to be nice and crunchy. If I can grab it with a fork, that would be phenomenal.
I should have got a knife too.
That's fine. Look at that. Very beautiful. Let's go. It's like a normal tempura shrimp. If you love tempura shrimp, you're gonna love this. It was really good. It's very crunchy, and that's what I was looking for. So I like it a lot. I'm very pleased, and I love the sauce. And we did confirm that this has no dairy in it. We got one of the cast members to ask the chef, so that was confirmed. I'm very happy with this. How many does it come with? 4, 5? I think that's okay for $7 for shrimp. Yeah, I like it. I'm gonna keep going.
this is not something I typically order, but you know, I saw it on there, it caught my eye, it's new, so it kind of just hit all the check marks off. But yeah, no expectations. We'll see how I feel. I have some expectations. It's very tasty. The tempura is exactly like Erica described. It is, it's very crunchy, but it's not just over-coated in oil, so it doesn't feel heavy as you're eating it. And then the orange sauce, it just basically makes it like orange shrimp instead of orange chicken, but not as sweet as I was expecting. I wish there was a little bit of spice kick to it, but I'm okay without it. It's light, and it just kind of has that nice balance of sweet and savory. It's really working for me. And yeah, $7, you might consider it a lot, but it's like five like mini chicken tenders in a way too. I actually think this is a really good steal. I heard great things here about the brie that's on the menu, and so I was like, oh, maybe I should go with that instead of the shrimp. Erica would have been out on that one, unfortunately. The shrimp was a good call. I'm kind of flabbergasted by it. I really like it.
So we're finishing up here at Flower and Garden Festival. We've eaten a lot of things. I've tasted a lot of things. And I think sometimes being in Disney, I can say, you know, the food tastes better because I'm in Disney. And sometimes if something's not so great, it's still great because I'm in Disney. But what I was really encouraged this visit to is watching Craig enjoy things more than like ever. And it was kind of reaffirming that what I was tasting really was good. I think the standout for me was that lumpia, which I didn't even know what a lumpia was. It was really good. And like, I forget impossible meat, forget that it's, you know, fake meat. You don't even know. Don't even tell a person that you're with if you think that's going to be something that they're going to be, you know, they're not going to like, because they won't know it. It's great. So that I would go back for like right now. Then I just had something, I don't think, is that new for the festival, that drink we had, or no?
I don't know.
Okay, we just had a drink in the Odyssey, which was a wine slushy. It was off the chain, creamsicle. I'm not sure if it's new though. What else did I have that I liked a lot? Okay, the chicken gumbo was also new, even though we didn't have it, I think. The chicken,
we didn't even order it.
No, I
You
tasted it from someone, and the chicken gumbo was amazing. From, what was that one there?
Magnolia.
From Magnolia in America, the America Pavilion. But again, the lumpia still gets me, and I still want to go around and try a bunch more things. But yeah, we could do a round 2 of this easily. It was really good. I think the food, they have upped their game with the food.
So we have made it to the end, and I will say, it is hard to pick my favorite thing I've had today, because I think I've loved everything, basically. But my favorite, I'm going to say, is the lumpia. I loved it. If you are someone that eats plant-based or you have dietary restrictions, this festival by far has amazing options, okay? I have had a fantastic day, but that specific dish, that booth in general that has everything impossible, the food is always good. Unfortunately, that poor ice cream, she did not make it out okay. The sun got to her, but it's all right. So that was my favorite. I don't think I really have like a least favorite thing that I didn't like. I just wish that with the hummus, it came with more bread and crackers, because I was tempted to just go grab a spoon and just start eating it because I felt bad for leaving all of that hummus there. But that's like the only negative I have really for today. I had a blast. It was really good. The food for this festival, always, for me, top notch. I love it.
You have already heard Panda and Erica's final thoughts on their day at the 2023 EPCOT International Flower and Garden Festival, and honestly, I am shocked that this has probably been my favorite festival in years. And I am not being like, I'm not trying to sell this short. I loved everything I had except for the chicken and waffles, and every single person I talked to who had the chicken and waffles was shocked when I said it was disgusting and don't get it. Everyone else apparently loved it and thought it was one of the highlights of the festival. So, you know what? That's why you look at a bunch of different people's reviews and not just ours, and really decide what you want to go with. But there were so many highlights. You know, I did take a couple of the bites of, you know, some of the stuff from Trowel and Trellis, the Impossible booth that Erica and Panda got, just because I wanted to try it, and like I was blown away with the lumpia. But I honestly, I don't know what my favorite was. It was either probably that blackened fish slider or the shockingly good poutine, the Shrimp Scampi Poutine. I'm still blown away by how awesome that was. Like, it was way too good for what it should have been. You know what? I loved it all though, except for the chicken and waffles. I love the crawfish. I love the strawberry shortcake. I'm so happy that I had such a good time here, because usually I'm bored with the festivals. This was not the case tonight though. And so, yeah, I'm pleased, and I will be back. I'm gonna have some of the items I've already had, and I'll try some of my old favorites as well too in the future. But that's going to do it for me here at EPCOT, and I want to say thank you to Erica and Panda for joining me as well today. And I hope you all enjoyed it. And if you did and you're watching this on YouTube, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave comments, questions, and video suggestions in the comments section. And of course, if you're listening, subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you want to support us more, book a trip through Dreams Unlimited Travel. Get a free no obligation quote today at dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. That's it for this episode of the Disney Dining Show. Again, I truly hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you again next time when we're dining around Walt Disney World. Take care. Bye-bye. Stay hungry.